See, so you can earn those on your own. You earn that on your own. And you get the red dust from PvP. So there's 3 types of currency, and you don't have to pay for any of them. So that should be like a bit of comfort for people that were concerned about pay-to-win stuff, right? Like the fact that if you pre-order, I forget which edition, not the standard edition, but the one above that, like the deluxe or whatever, and then the ultimate obviously would have it as well. You do get access 4 days early. That is an advantage. You could make the argument very easily that that is pay to win. I understand critiquing that. I don't really care. Personally, I just don't really care. But I get it. I wish we could just repair all, right? Jeez, that's fucking annoying. But yeah, so that's pretty much how I feel about it. I don't see anything that looks pay to win aside from like 4 days of early access, which, let's be honest, 4 days of early access gets you a boost. The ultimate edition, or well, I guess the deluxe edition also comes with the season pass for the bullshit, right? So you get well, it's not a season pass. You get the battle pass. That's what you get. You get the battle pass thing. Which I don't know. Let's see if we can find that in here and see what you get for the battle pass. So it looks like that's not in here yet, which is fine. Makes sense because it's not actually like the first season, right? But at launch, if you have the deluxe edition, you'll have the battle pass without extra expense. It's included. So that's like, it is a steep price to pay, right? It's already $70 for the game. You pay another $20 and you get the battle pass. So you'll have extra stuff. I don't know if it'll just be cosmetics or whatever. So I'm not gonna say that that's not gonna be like something that gives you like a pay to win type of thing, because who knows, it might give you gems or whatever, it might give you weapons or something. But if it's all just cosmetic, then it doesn't matter. And the ultimate edition, which is like $100, gets you all the same things. It gets you like a special title or mount or pet or something like that, as well as and another, like the first 20 levels of the battle pass. So, like, once again, if you have the battle pass, you're going to get through that anyways. It's just an advancement through there. So, I don't really see anything that's going to be a pay-to-win thing that we're seeing yet. We've said this similar thing with Blizzard in the past, and then, lo and behold, pay-to-win, right? So, I'm not going to say that it's not going to be pay-to-win. And with having the 4 days early access, you could make the argument that that's a pay to win thing, although you will catch up. It's not like you won't catch up to people who played 4 days before you. I think it's 4 days. I might be wrong. It might be 3 days. It might be 5 days. I don't know. 4 is what sticks out in my mind. But gameplay wise, it feels like Diablo. It feels like Diablo. So, I mean, I don't really see much different than usual. Like I said, man, it feels like Diablo. You've got a limited amount of potions again, instead of just unlimited potions. They just come up or whatever. I guess it's not how it worked in Diablo 3. You just slowly drained it. So it's similar. It's a similar setup. These talent trees, though, like, this is very different. Right? This is a very different talent tree where, like, you get the skill and then you can take little offshoots from it. Little things like this that are just beneficial little stat increases. Agility skill. So like so you get more stuff as you go along that is taking place, but it's not like you're, you know, it is nice to see. Like, this is a more interesting setup than what we've had in the past. It did, in like the way they had it shown in what the devs were showing us, it looked like this was going to be more expansive, similar to the way it is in PoE. I'm kind of happy it's not, because in PoE it seems like that gets convoluted. There's a whole lot to it, and it seems like it creates a barrier to entry to people and like deters new players from wanting to come into the game. So it's good that it's not too expansive right off the bat, but we might be able to expand deeper into this as well, right? Like, it might, as they develop the game further, because it's supposed to have like live service, right? So with live service, we might see more development into this as well. Like, these might expand with live service over time. They might not just cap the skill tree with when you get to level 50 or whatever, so you unlock Paragon, but they might lock it at 50 and then you have to choose, right? So it all depends on how they want to go about maintenance of these talent trees, the Paragon point systems, which we're not going to see the Paragon points in the beta. We're only getting to level 20 in the beta between this early access beta as well as the open beta, which again is the 20th to the 24th. Or the 24th to the 27th, I'm sorry. This beta for the early access ends on the 20th, and then on the 24th, the open beta for everybody goes from the 24th to the 27th. So those are my thoughts on Diablo after my first day playing it. So far, it looks good. It looks good. It looks like it might not be as like off-putting as Diablo 3 was. There is the MMO thing where you do see some people in the game here and there. I don't know if that's going to be you choose a server like you do in WoW, and the people on the server who you interact with. If it's going to be similar to WoW with, like, here's your battle network, and that's how that all feeds in. I don't know yet. We'll have to see how it plays out. But typical things you expect to see from a beta. A bug here or there with it dropping out the why can't I think of words? Just typical issues like these tooltips weren't showing up. Like, they did show up and then they went away and then they came back, right? So like we saw that correct itself live in game. We saw that take place. So the little bit of lag here and there, which is to be expected with any beta. To be clear, any beta you should see lag, because they're typically testing server stability and size to kind of figure out how to go about all of that. So we didn't really see anything unexpected. I didn't run into anything that was too unexpected. We didn't get to spend a lot of time in it. We did have like the hour or so before we were able to get in because of the queue time, and then another hour or so of the stream where we had to play Ninja Turtles because we had to log out because of the server issue that booted us from the game, that we had to close the game and open it again and restart the queue. So aside from just typical beta issues, it looks good. It feels like a Diablo game. It looks more like Diablo 2. The story so far seems like it's going to be more like Diablo 2. It's more of a dark theme. It's less like Diablo 3, which, like I said, Diablo 3 was the first Diablo I played, so that was my introduction. So I'm not going to get into what I think of it in that regard, but I think for people who did come into older Diablo games than me, and they had that prior history with the franchise, and they were unhappy with the way Diablo 3 came out, didn't enjoy how the story was, I think they'll be happier with this. It feels a little better. It feels more dark, the way that you'd associate Diablo normally, and it feels like Diablo when you play it. So unless they start adding in purchase currencies like premium currency items and that type of stuff, I don't really see a pay-to-win thing that's going to be really impactful unless the battle pass stuff, which they are putting into the game to make it a live service game. So unless that has pay-to-win aspects built into it, I really don't see much pay-to-win aside from, you know, the 4 days early access, because you get mounts, but you're going to be able to buy mounts, right? You just won't have the mounts that you get for purchasing the game that you get right off the bat, so you'll be slower, and that's arguably a pay-to-win thing, right? Because you're able to get through the content faster because you have a mount, and you're able to do that for free because you paid more money for the game. So the early access, having the mount right away. Actually, let's come up here and see if we can buy a mount up here, because like obviously I've pre-ordered the game. I'm going to have a mount accessible. Okay, you have to progress through and complete Donovan's Favor to access your mounts anyways. So you've got to get to the same point in the game to be able to access mounts, and then you're probably able to purchase mounts, would be my assumption either way. So once again, that puts some like peace of mind into it for pay to win stuff, right? Like you're going to have to spend gold or whatever on your mount if you did not pre-order a version that gives you a mount, but that's not a big deal, to be quite honest. Like the gold is plentiful. Just go kill shit, you get gold. Smash things, you get gold. Open chests, you get gold. Do the dungeons, you get gold, right? So do the side quests and quests, you get gold. There's going to be plenty of gold for you to do that with, unless you're purchasing armor and weapons throughout the game, which there's no reason to do that. No reason at all for you to purchase your armor and weapons. Just play the game, get the drops, and you should be fine. So that's my 2 cents after day one of playing the beta.